Gold, and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Friday, January 22nd, 2021. Big rebound in the markets today. Well, maybe not too big, but we did manage to hold 30K support and climbing out of the tailspin we were in just yesterday. That's right, guys. Doom is off.
For the weekend. No, it's not for the weekend.
Yeah, maybe we're not out of the clear yet, but I'm sure people are relieved. I'm sure some toddlers and everyone alike that we didn't completely plummet down to 20K just yet. Who's to say that it's not over yet? But we got a few news stories to suggest that dip is getting bought up and then some. But we'll get into that shortly. In the meantime, let's introduce Alex with us this morning. Alex, how you doing?
Don't you start cutting out.
I'm well.
All right, Alex is doing okay. And Jason, what's going on, bud? Happy birthday,
You know what?
by the way.
It's hard to it's super hard to explain, but I'm having a really good day, guys. And that's, I mean, without going into too much detail, I would like to say I really appreciate everyone who reached out to me last night. And if my mic starts going in and out, it's not because I'm choking up or anything. It's because my mic is bad. So I just wanted to say thanks to everyone.
Yeah.
My internet's bad today, bud.
All right. Well, happy birthday to Jason, and we wish you all the best today. Yeah, man. I'm glad you've been.
Wait, this happened on your birthday? This good event?
It happened 2 hours up to midnight. Yes.
Before your birthday. That's right, guys.
The hits just keep on coming, dude.
It's Jason's birthday. If you faithful viewer may not know this, but today is Jason's birthday.
31, bitches. It goes quick, doesn't it?
It does.
As a matter of fact, this year is the year you're going to turn 1 billion seconds old.
Well, that's a good number. That's a good number.
I did the math once. It's 31 years, 10 months,
dude.
days, hours, minutes.
I'm telling you, bud, you gotta find better shit to do.
Bored. I was in high school.
Gotta run the numbers.
Anyway, 1 billion seconds old, man.
But anyways, even imagining back when I was a little kid, I never even thought I would get to 31, to be honest with you. But I couldn't be in a better place.
Yeah, well, sounds like adulthood is setting in. We're no longer invincible teenagers, and
I beg to differ after yesterday's event.
Welcome
I'm
to
on top of the
getting
world.
old, basically. All right, let's see. What do we got here? You guys want to update us on anything the group is doing in terms of the trades? I know, Jason, you hedged up.
And boy, is that playing out beautifully.
You guys want to fill in the audience what's going on in the premium? Anything noteworthy to mention?
Let's see. I think we definitely hit take profit 1 on the EOS and
oh yes, thank you for that, by the way.
And Theta shorts. I put up Litecoin and I put up a Litecoin and ZIL short last night. I don't know how they are because we're in the middle of a bounce. So they went down and then now they're back up. We'll look at them later. We'll see how they're doing.
All right.
But right now there's not much to report. I am still bearish. I'm still kind of sitting on my hands waiting to see what the markets do for sure. Mm-hmm. We'll take a broad look.
I mean, fundamentally, we shouldn't be looking for any kind of longs right now. We already hedged up when appropriate. Right now, I feel like this is going to be a weekend of emotional trading, which means that I'm probably not going to be participating, especially in BTC. Probably just leave my hedge open because I really don't like this first bounce and then going into a weekend just pumping. That just doesn't make sense to me. I really do think that we're going to see more downside before we see more upside. And I think alts are supporting that because look at them. We had quite a dip last night and they're holding very well in comparison.
To me, the alts look like they are moving back up to retest the resistance they just broke down from.
Mm-hmm. And
that's kind of like how they look to my eyes.
I actually would agree with that as well. Going into the weekend, because the 9 alts that we're sitting in right now, we're currently up let me see, 38% on those. And going into the weekend, I kind of feel you there. I think that I will likely at close today be closing out of some positions to lower risk over the weekend.
Right. Well, best of luck to your positions, guys, and same goes to the audience. Yeah, watch out. Weekend can be a bit volatile.
It's a fickle mistress.
And I got a feeling that retail is gonna buy up this dip right now. When sure retail was a little unsettled with the sell-off, and now that we kind of held 30K, this might be the opportunity people were looking to buy and feel comfortable buying the dips.
I'm still very comfortable with my target at 24,610.
Yeah, you know what? I don't blame you. I do feel like there's still, but it's nice seeing the bounce. Maybe we will deflate this bubble in an orderly fashion. With that said, let's hop into quickly review. First I'm going to shout everybody out. So let me give everybody a shout out. See who was in here early. I see Ron Legato's first through the door. Why is Ron always first in here? Is he just watching the Twitter really closely, and as soon as I post the notification, he's in here? But shout outs to Ron Legato. Thanks for being in here.
Yeah, gosh, Ron, get a life. What are you always doing here first?
Subtextually is in here saying hello, nice to see you. Subtext, and she wishes happy birthday to Jason. Thank you to Subtext.
Thanks, Subtext.
Crypto Bull, what's up, y'all? Come on now, smash the thumbs up. Indeed, Mr. Ether Robert Warner's in here. Started listening to the 4-Hour Work Week today. Loving it. How's everyone feeling today? Yeah, that's a good book, eh? The 4-Hour Work Week. Yes, this is, I'm sure, the Freedom 55 type aspirations of many people out there. Schlep all day on the factory floor.
You bunch of schleps. You schlepped on it.
Live the life of financial freedom, being a boss and a trader, an early investor in crypto. That's obviously what we're all aiming for, guys. Let's hope it comes to fruition. Some people, and hopefully in the next cycle. Midwest is in here, of course. Mr. Unicorn, a channel supporter, saying Hakuna Matata, folks. Happy Friday. Yep, means no worries, guys. It is a happy Friday. I don't care if we are an elevator to hell, dropping from 40K. I'm still pretty comfortable and happy. I'm gonna hit the panic button when we drop below 10K. But let's keep moving. Tyson K is in here. Get it on. We got Spin B. Excuse me. Spin B is in here. A channel supporter. Man, we got so many channel supporters. So nice to see all these green statuses in here. Spin B says, nice bounce, but we still got more downside. Yep, I like the bounce too, but I
would agree.
Do feel like there's more downside here. But
I think you would be more comfortable sitting in a short position than you would a long position.
Oh baby, let's do 45K before we turn this thing on. At least
although if it's toward the bottom, you're probably sweating right now.
Oh god, you're sweating bullets, boy.
Crypto Caveman, the OGs are in the house. Spin B, I mentioned Daniel's in here. Hi guys, another good show. Yep, thank you for joining us, Daniel. Crypto Caveman says this intro music gives me flashbacks to the bear market, that long bear market. Yeah, that bear market was probably hard to trudge through, but hey,
it was a great lesson, in my opinion. I wouldn't be the trader I am today without that bear market, so I think you just gotta count your blessings.
Nitin Soki in the live chat. Hello. Look at the CAD. Yep, we will take a look at that. Mr. Unicorn mentioned MacW, Loot Patient, Crypto Caveman, Cody, Jordan Stotts, Stun Gun. Happy birthday, 41 from MacW. I don't think he's 41.
Happy 41st birthday, Jason.
Yeah, happy 41, bro.
Yeah, I'm getting older by the fucking second, boy.
All right, Adam Cohen's in here saying, tell me it's all going down so I can buy more.
It is.
Cody, if any fellow Canadians are watching, I just found out you can buy Bitcoin and Ethereum on the TSX. So you can buy using your tax-free savings account. Look at the GBTC and ETHE on TSX. Yes, we have similar GBT and Ethereum trusts. Very good advice to the Canadians looking to get exposure to Bitcoin and Ethereum in the traditional markets. Jose Alves, B-Flow, Midwest, B-Flow says, Midwest, you proposed to your girl yet or something? You sound like you're on cloud 9.
It's really funny that you said that, B-Flow. Like I said, you just get me.
It's
because that was a real idea on my mind for today to be that day.
Good, dude.
Don't tell her.
It's all really coming together now.
Yes.
Like if you motherfuckers spoil this for me,
baby, if you're listening out there,
love you.
All right, let's shout out the last few.
That's funny.
Skokie
she's
Cat.
not. She's in the other room trying to ignore him.
She's in the other room texting her real boyfriend.
Mac W clarifies he's 41 today, so you and him share a birthday.
Whoa.
Me, you, and Logic the rapper.
Oh, right on. And Spin B says getting older just means you buy off the top shelf at the dispensaries. All right. And Subtext has a request. Can you guys talk a bit about hedging and can expect with the hedge? All right. Emotional discipline. Yeah, we can certainly get into that.
Hello?
Yeah.
Jeff?
What happened? I'm still here.
It sounded like we. Yeah, you made me nervous. Sounded like we almost lost you.
Oh, thank God. No, so far so good. Don't jinx it, boys. All right, let's take a quick look at the news before we go any further.
Anything juicy?
Nothing too exciting, guys. I can tell you. I can tell you that the double spend news was big FUD. It was overblown. I even read one story.
Well, of course. I mean, we said that in real time.
Indeed, but a day later, we find out there was at least one. There's this one Canadian company near me that we mentioned them a few months ago. They trended because along with the MicroStrategies and all these other guys, they were like a local firm that was adding Bitcoin to its treasury. Well, supposedly somebody panicked over at this firm. You know, they woke up to the quote-unquote double spend news and they panic sold all the treasuries BTC.
Yay.
And then now they're realizing they made a mistake, that double spend was not really. So whoever the hell is in charge of Bitcoin management over, and I gotta see which firm this was.
Bunch of goddamn jamokes running this thing.
Yeah, they really shit the bed on that one. All right.
What are you doing, Larry?
Taking a quick look at the news today.
It can happen to anybody. You guys, running a company's portfolio does not give you special emotional discipline.
Oh, it does not. It doesn't make you good, like any better than anyone else. So
it can happen to anybody.
Yeah, so we got the story here. This one, if you're, maybe a little uncomfortable buying the dip, well, guess what? MicroStrategy, which bought the bulk of its Bitcoin around 15,000 and then 20,000 and then even more than that. Well, supposedly they added a bit more to their coffers, so they just spent another 10 million, which isn't a lot, but relative to the billion they already hold. But yeah, they just spent another 10 million on Bitcoin. It now holds over 70,700 Bitcoins. Purchase was made at roughly 31,800. MicroStrategy's average buy-in is now around 16K. So while many share a bearish on the short-term outlook on crypto market, strategy seems confident in a bold Bitcoin play. So if anybody was wondering, no, the institutions aren't panicking. In fact, they're only buying more. Let's see what else we got. Here's another one to tell you that, yeah, maybe expect a weekend of retail FOMO because Jim Cramer of Mad Money fame, I think it's on ABC or NBC. Yeah, so
Mad Money.
Yeah, Mad Money. Yeah. Yep, CNBC, Mad Money. He recommends a 5% portfolio allocation to Bitcoin. So you hear that, boomers out there with your 401ks and.
Well, guys, time to get out of the market. Jim Cramer is shilling it.
I like this. I think
it was a good run, boys.
I think this is good. If we get,
it is long term. It's good.
If we get wealth,
short term, all more reason to be out of the market. If Jim Cramer says it's time to buy, it's time to sell.
That's true. But I agree that in long term, this is actually very bullish. But short term, probably a mean correction coming.
Yep. As this is described here, Cramer's advice is one of many recent indicators that Bitcoin has entered a new stage of mainstream acceptance and adoption. So he went on the air talking about how he would invest his own money if he had describing how he would invest his money if he just won the Powerball jackpot, which was, by the way, around 700 million. And he posted a list of assets that he was looking to escape the big cash windfall with, and those included real estate, art, gold, and finally Bitcoin, right? So something I'm sure.
Yeah, I guess I'll need to step up my art purchases too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great way to move those funds internationally and escape, I guess, certain
launder money. Yeah,
certain
it's a great way.
certain obligations. But I think this is good. I think there's a lot of boomers, there's a lot of people with disposable wealth. There's the investment class of like normie boomers.
I bet they're even hurting more than people think at this point.
Maybe. I don't know. Hard to believe that
Where?
people.
I mean, I feel like the normie class of investors, mostly in the stock market, which is still hovering around its highs.
Yep, exactly. And so anything that kind of spurs the excitement of boomers who don't really understand the tech, but they watch stuff like this for investment advice. I think this is good. I think it's a good signal to put out there. Advising viewers to invest 5% of the portfolio in gold, issued similar advice regarding Bitcoin. He's like, what? I'm just going to say it. He says 5% in Bitcoin too, adding that Bitcoin is becoming an important store of value. Yeah, hell yeah. If you're going to put 5% in gold, sprinkle another 5%.
I love how it's like Jim Cramer said it. Like we've been saying that forever, but now it's a good thing. Like
I like it. I like anything that.
I do too, but
I prefer
gets
this
annoying.
than,
like he said it. It's his idea.
No, but I do like. I prefer him saying this than being a boomer that's like, no, that's a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah,
stay out.
Warren Buffett on it.
These guys are all coming around, so I'm definitely feeling that. All right, I think we already mentioned this one. And finally, this is a little follow-up to something we talked about yesterday. Janet Yellen appointed Treasury Secretary. Initially, she kind of blew a bit of a cold breeze into the space, making comments about a potential Bitcoin crackdown. Well, just kind of like I told you guys yesterday, it's probably not that accurate, and so she therefore decided to clarify her view on the role of crypto in the future of finance. So she's taken a bit of a different tact with Bitcoin today. So earlier this week we had headlines highlighting Yellen's skepticism about the crypto sector. But now writing new remarks in Congress, she's offering a more comprehensive take, and this includes her saying, I think it's important we consider the benefits of cryptocurrencies and other digital assets and the potential they have to improve the efficiency of the financial system. So she does highlight that crypto can be used by bad actors. The new nominee does deem it necessary that the administration facilitate legal use of crypto and novel tech, right? So this is doom is off, guys. Like clearly they're now considering facilitating lawful use and potentially harmonizing the regulatory landscape to kind of include crypto assets in traditional finance.
They're the ones who determine what's lawful use. So I don't really. That's like someone saying, "Don't worry, I'll make sure you're able to do exactly what I want you to do."
You're about to get Alex riled up.
We can't have it all, guys, but
I hear you, but that's such like a nothing statement. It's like we're going to enable legal use. Like, hey, buddy, you determine what the legal use is. Like, we're already using it the way we want to use it. So, that's kind of all on you.
Indeed.
Tell him, Alex.
And as she says, I think we need to look closely at how to encourage their use for legitimate activities while curtailing their use for malign and illegal activities. It's confirmed I intend to work closely with the Fed, board, and other banking and security regulators on how to implement an effective regulatory framework for these and other fintech innovations. Yeah, this is good. This is good, guys. I think at least for Bitcoin, maybe not for Ripple, maybe not for other upstart crypto projects. I think it's on the whole a good with the space. Yes, we may not fulfill the original prophecy of destroying the system and creating something fair and just, which is fine. Honestly, the mainstream system is not going away. Government and big banking and central banking, it's probably not going away. We need to honestly harmonize our relationships, guys. We need to be included in the fold. And this is a sign that they could very well come, right? Then they're going to fight for so long until they accept us and bring us into the party. So,
well, just the old monetary system just doesn't work in the way a lot of the banks think it does. You know, they're stuck in like a 1970s view of the economy. So as they accept crypto, they're either going to have to change, or the institutions will just die.
Not to mention the boomers that helm these things as well. Their time is limited. Pretty soon it's going to be us 31-year-olds inheriting what's left of this civilization. Pretty soon we'll be calling the shots, guys, not the likes of boomers like Yellen and the Jim Cramers of the world.
Yep.
Can only hope.
I'm with Jack. Just you wait. One day, the people in power will be dead. Then we'll have the power.
Boomers will go, and the Zoomers will reign. What else is there to say? Mac W asks, how can you ban Bitcoin?
Shut off the internet.
Yeah, Bitcoin cannot easily be banned, but you know, they can ban.
That's
Coinbase,
the only way to do it.
right?
You'd have to do one global Fight Club moment and wipe out the internet for Bitcoin to really be shut down.
Indeed, but I mean,
you can make it. So, you can make it so that no U.S. exchange can handle Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You can make it illegal.
They can make it hard.
they can make it very hard.
Yeah, they can make it to the point where you'd be like, why would I hold this instead of something else? Because it's losing value because I can't use it.
They'll bully you to the point of you will emotionally feel like the opportunity cost of trying is not even worth it.
Exactly. There's definitely ways that they can crack down on the on and off ramps, basically, right? In the U.S., they can exert pressure on the Coinbases and the Krakens and all that. Maybe they don't have that much reach into the Far East, but yeah, you know, if the global collective wanted to crack down and deny any kind of access for, like, I don't know, Swift, basic traditional Swift banking to crypto. I'm sure they could do that. I just don't think it's in their best interest. I really think that doing that would cause a bit of like a immune reaction from the crypto industry that would just make things worse.
Kind of route around it.
Yeah, we you know, things. It's just, I don't think it would be productive for them. I think it's in their best interest to kind of guide things along and kind of level the landscape a little bit in a way that kind of protects their interests while kind of giving us a bit of room to breathe. You know, what
Mr. ETH said. Shh, they're listening.
Yes, they certainly are, but I think we're lucky we're not hitting any keywords that might get us shadow banned on YouTube, so we're good so far. VPN can get around US internet ban, says Raymond Compton. Yeah, VPN could get around that, but not if they do some real draconian internet shutdown, and that's you know, it could be doomsday scenario, and that would be more difficult and would really throw a wrench in things. But honestly, I think the system is too dependent on the internet and communication lines being up, so I just don't see a future where they try to, you know, they pull the they go to nuclear option and they take the internet down to try to mess with us. It would destroy their own, I think, communication lines and all that. They need the internet as much as we do to keep the system afloat, so I just don't think those types of scenarios are all too practical in the future. Peckham Await in live chat says, I bought the dip yesterday with his ETH holdings. Okay, looking good.
Jose coming in hot. Thank you, bud, for becoming a supporter. Really appreciate it.
Jose Elvis just came through, became a channel supporter.
Love you, buddy.
Really nice. All right, guys. So we covered the intro, covered the news. We've got everything kind of wrapped up for Friday. We're gonna go to full 2 hours today, guys. We're gonna get to everybody's requests.
Full 2.
New to the show, you haven't seen our show schedule yet, well, it's right down here below. First hour, we're going to go from the majors like Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're going to get into alts, probably touch a little bit on Forex and traditional markets. By the second hour, we're definitely going to be getting everyone's requests and questions. The AMA portion comes hour 2 before we slowly move into the intro. That's about it. That's all I have to say for now. Taking a quick look at bubbles, actually, because I haven't mentioned bubbles yet. Let's see what's happening on the bubbles front. You know what, guys? Alt season was put on pause for what, maybe 48 hours? Not even.
Yeah, like,
and it's back in full
zoom
swing.
out, guys. Like, damn.
Yep. The panic of yesterday is over, and alt season continues. Yes, clink the champagne glasses, guys. We are going to the moon. I'm about to pop some bubbly too, looking at the gains I made on BAT, up 33%. Mana, 27%. Shoutouts to Peckham.
BAT, yeah.
Peckham sent us a tip yesterday in BAT, so joke's on you, Peckham. We're up 33% on what you sent us, son.
Thanks, bud.
You meant to send us $20. We're now up to like $27. Eat it,
dude.
Eat it, eat it, eat it.
All in a day's work, bud.
Should think twice before.
See, for Jack, that's like fuck you money. He's like, fuck you all. We're out.
I'm gonna go get me 3 Big Macs.
I'm going to the Subway sandwiches and getting the boys footlongs of their choice. Super assorted, you name it. Chicken, grilled chicken sandwich, whatever you want, boys. It's on Peckham. But I got control of the keys now, so it's effectively me doing the fast food shopping for the crew.
It's effectively my money, so
no,
you guys can
money. It's no longer, it's not your keys, not your sandwich, alright? Just basically how the rules go. But yeah, I see Tezo's up about 17%, VGX, Voyager token seeming to trend. That was a big one this last couple days, up 20%, Link 13%. Yeah, what's Link at anyway? $22 Link. Oof, it feels so good.
A link to the past.
The good news is that I do not see my shorts on this list of green bubbles, so
that's true.
That's, I guess, a good thing.
Astute observation,
unless
Watson.
ICX or Zen or HBAR, Leo or BSV are among your shorts. Everything else is in the glean. Everything else is green, guys.
Everything's in the glean, boys.
Yes, the glean in my eye, guys.
I think a lot of things are wandering up with Bitcoin in price right now. I mean, it had a really rough day yesterday, so we got to bounce today.
Yeah, congrats to the guys holding Mana. You're up 26% today. Mana, looking at this chart here, looking like
you have the power. That's actually a pretty good joke.
Unlimited power. All right.
Unlimited mana.
All right, let's get into the main scene. Yes, the champagne is gonna be flowing like the Nile River over here.
Like the River Nile.
Yes. All right, Alex, I've got you on screen. Your chart's up. Looking at BTC, USD, Perp. I'm gonna dive into the live chat, start collecting requests. You guys know what to do from here. I'll be back.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
So you guys already have a pretty good idea of what happened with Bitcoin. Yesterday we kept dropping, and we even dropped a little after the daily candle before we finally found a bottom.
What was it, 28 the low?
Yeah, essentially we tapped this area of liquidity right over here. See this? Came down right down here, and then we recovered back into this trading range up here. After coming down and testing that overnight. So at this point, I am still looking for that wander up towards 34,000 that we were talking about yesterday to score short. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to play out, but things do still look bearish. Just we've come down and tagged this, but we could still have several more weeks of sideways here.
I think it was interesting if you go back to that Ethereum chart. Like at very first glance, it really looked like Ethereum's kind of leading the charge here, and that's a beautiful baseline bounce. Like if anything, that looks like a shorting opportunity in my head.
I agree. If this is the area where I would be looking to enter into some kind of short or hedge on Ethereum.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially I would be looking for kind of a retest of the previous highs, which you see right here, and then a break back down. So this could be, another week or so of sideways here on Ethereum before we get that. But I do still, I think, want to see a sweep of the lows. And right now we're just putting in a higher low. So let's head on over. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance.
Looking at that pattern going into the weekend, like I would feel very comfortable either hedging or shorting that position, because you have a pretty easy invalidation to where it's pretty good risk to reward right there to me.
Yeah, this area is nice. Essentially, you would know to get out once we're like back above like 13.50.
I mean,
or so
any close above the daily baseline, I would probably say would be a good sign to get out.
I agree, but the daily baseline is already like at 1300. So,
well, I was talking about. Oh no, yeah, you're right. But yeah. The one thing that I did want to point out about Bitcoin there was I do find it odd that with all of that buyback that we've just gotten, look how high momentum is and how negative it is. Like on WADA, on the Bitcoin chart, on the daily.
Okay, let me go back to Bitcoin.
It's rising bearish momentum, but price is increasing. Actually, it just flipped. Oh, no, it didn't. It's still rising. I found that interesting.
I'm sure it's just a mathematical thing. I'm not.
Just something I look at that when I look at a chart. But anyways, on to the next one.
So yes, we're looking for Bitcoin to come back up towards this area, back towards the point of control, and to retest it from below, and then we're looking to either. Maybe we don't end up getting the full movement down here. Maybe we just will retest lower again. But one way or another, once we get back up to this area, I'm looking to take it lower here.
For sure, that goes into the whole saying of never buy the first dip. Yeah, you're going to get a little bit of a retracement, but you're more than likely statistically to get burned. There's going to be another dip.
Basically a sideways day on the Dixie. We did pump up from the lows today. But I'm not seeing this as a hugely bullish movement necessarily. Do we have a break of trend here? Arguably, that's good. So this could be more upside for the Dixie, which would be bearish. More downside for Bitcoin and the broader markets. What are the broader markets doing today? Oof.
Die is dying.
Well, we essentially gapped down, and then we've traded up, which is kind of the reverse behavior that we've been seeing, right? We've been seeing a lot of gap up, we trade down, trade normally, we gap up, we trade down, this gap up, trade down.
This is a perfect example. We talked about this yesterday because it gapped up, and we're like, why would you want to buy this right now? It gapped up right here. It's likely to at least retrace back to support before anything, and you would be underwater right now.
Yep. More sideways on the weekly, essentially, and we're also below the weekly high close here. So closing below that is mildly bearish. I would just classify us as still at resistance. We don't have a huge rejection here yet or anything. But we're back into the no trade zone. It was starting to look like maybe we were getting bullish again. We hit the new all-time high, and then we gapped down the next day. So a brand new administration. The administration opens up that day. We get a new all-time high, and the next day, we gap down.
That's like a false starting on the first play of the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, we did. Oh.
I thought we had all this bullish momentum, but gapped down the next day. I mean, and let's not forget what Bitcoin is doing right now. So is it possible that Bitcoin is leading the broader markets in like a large downward movement? Let's look at NASDAQ and SPY. Gap down today, trading up below yesterday's all-time high. We could beat it in the next couple of hours. Maybe we'll have a really bullish push. This is not bearish right here on lower time frames. Looks like we're holding it, right? That's interesting. Same here on SPY. So we gap down today. You can see it on lower time frames. Then we just kind of trade up. we lost momentum here, so you could take a PTP long signal off of this. We're back under the qualifying line. We use the 3-bar rule here. You could do it. This is a good weekly close right here. This is pretty positive. Okay. I think that right now it's too soon to call the traditional markets bearish. It's really questionable how much we have been trading sideways on the Dow and on the Nasdaq. But we're trading sideways at the highs. Maybe we're doing that thing where we're just sidling up to the highs before we just have a huge, massive bullish push in the markets. I'd be a little shocked. I'm not sure exactly where it would be coming from, but maybe we get one. There is a bullish case to be made. I saw a chart of, I think it was 2016 or 2017 Bitcoin comparison. So this is the old all-time high, which I think is around like $1,000 or $750 or something like that. So you can see, pumped massively. We broke down, and we just never revisited that area. And so here we are now, yesterday, on Bitcoin. That would be the bullish case. The bullish case being made from historical data, because right now on the on the chart itself, we're not seeing that yet at all, especially not on the weekly or anything. I do like here that the Fisher has started to come down and curl back up here from not an oversold position, but from much lower than it was. But of course, we could still curl back up and make one more big lower low. So I think the main thing for us to keep track of would be the daily downtrend. And if we did break that at all, I'd be really interested in longing it, perhaps even if we weren't necessarily above the daily baseline yet, because it'd be a good trade, if nothing else. If we broke out from this downtrend, possibly retest the high. But then if we retested the high, we'd be above the daily baseline at that point. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how things play out in reality. Okay, let's look at the swaps. Uniswap perp. Let's look at the lower time frames here. We are either retesting the previous high successfully, or we are unsuccessfully retesting the most recent high here. It really depends on how you want to look at it. If we finish this day down here, I would call this tentatively bearish. Let's do a measured movement. Maybe this was the pullback that we're getting from these descending wedges. On the one hand, my eyes tell me it's like, look, it's like fine. We broke down a little bit from the ascending wedge, and then we came back up and we retested the point of control in this area. That's all we're doing here, Alex. This is resistance. We're just going to come through it a little bit right here, and then come back down, and the real drop is going to happen.
It'll come up here, swing, and then go sideways enough to get people to really think that it's going to go long, and then slowly just fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
It's usually how that situation plays out on a swing failure like that.
Right here at resistance on DeFi perp, I'm super not interested in this. If we made a new high, fantastic. Otherwise, I see this as just a correction after a strong downward impulse. And then, later today, it'll probably wick down and then just break down. Priv Perp. Now you guys got to admit, this one looks bearish, right? I mean, here we are. We're back below the daily baseline. Look at all this resistance above us. We push up into this area. Maybe we make it up to here. Maybe. And then we're going to break back down on this. I think it's so clearly obvious in this spot. So we want to grab our short here as near to the daily baseline as we can. And we might even spend tomorrow moving up 2 on Priv Perp. If we did, that would be great. That would give our oscillator time to come below 0 and give us that initial PTP long signal that we're looking for in this spot. We've already got momentum and velocity here. We just need the oscillator to come the rest of the way down here.
No, we didn't lose you, did we?
Yeah, hello.
Oh, you're back. You just your mic clipped out for a split second.
Oh, did I? Okay. You guys can all hear me now, right?
Yep, absolutely good.
All right. Shit perp here, slightly less bearish. We're back above the daily baseline. We closed below it yesterday. I would still classify us as retesting resistance. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of resistance in this spot. I would be really shocked if we closed the day above this high. We just looked at exchange perp. Mid perp, same thing, retesting the baseline from below. I'm more looking to score a short from this spot than I am like, oh, this is it. Let's re-long alts. It's a primary opportunity, or it's prime opportunity again. I'm not seeing it.
You're really confirming my my gut feeling to close out my alt positions at daily close.
Guys, you guys have been watching me for a while. You know sometimes I can be excessively bearish, but the signs are in the market what they are. It's not like it's not like when I was bearish when Bitcoin was above the baseline, above 10K. Here we are. We're below the baseline on all these things. We're at a high.
You have good evidence to be bearish.
Just think about it. How many new people have you seen in the markets in the last month or so?
I know the general chat's been popping lately, so
yep.
People are coming out of the woodwork right now, and that's usually when people get maximum destroyed.
The media suckers people into the beginning of a new run. The market has a heavy pullback. Everybody gets fleeced the once.
It's just long enough to make you give up.
Yep, institutes, they restock, and then off we go again. I'm not suggesting the end of the bear market, but could be the end of this leg of the bear market.
That's why I'm super comfortable and with whatever price does staying in my hedge right now until I get evidence that I shouldn't be.
Yeah. But for what it's worth, Bitcoin dominance continues falling. There is currently no sign of that changing. So if you're just choosing between Bitcoin and alts, right now alts are the better choice still. And pretty much it's DeFi and Uniswap are where the gains are to be made. Why don't we go ahead and do some audience shout-outs and requests.
Yeah, I got a few here lined up. We might start with this one that came in early. It concerned hedging. This one came from Subtext. Let me pull this up real quick. Where did I put it? Have it. So Subtextually writes, entered my first hedge yesterday, which is currently massively underwater. So I was wondering if you guys can talk a little bit about hedging strategy and pros and cons. And can you guys please also describe hedging and what someone can expect with a hedge, i.e. proper expectations for better emotional discipline? Yes, I want to quickly cover the topic of hedging.
Great question, Subtext.
Okay.
Really T-balling it up
first,
for us.
Let us discuss what we mean by hedging up or taking a hedge short, etc. All right, so when you own Bitcoin, and I know a lot of this you already know subtextually, but I'm explaining this for our audience members. When you own Bitcoin or Ethereum or any other asset, you are exposed to the price movements of that asset. Of course, obviously, when your Ethereum goes up in value, you have more wealth. When it goes down in value, you have less wealth, of course. Well, if you have access, if you sell it, you go into cash, and that is no longer true, right? Yes, of course, that makes perfect sense. If I sell my Ethereum, I no longer have Ethereum, and therefore I am no longer, I'm no longer exposed to Ethereum. Okay, that's also obvious. Well, something that is a little less obvious is that if you own like Ethereum or Bitcoin, and you see prices going down, and you just kind of want to be out of the market, like you don't want to short the market, you just kind of wish you were in cash, but you also don't want to transfer your Bitcoin or Ethereum off the wallet and then onto an exchange, then you sell it and then you get cash, and then you wait around, and then then you got to buy it again, and then transfer back into your cold storage wallet. It's a thing. It's this big hassle. Well, what you can do is you can take out a short on a futures exchange for the exact same size as your Bitcoin holdings. So let's say you own $9,000 in Bitcoin. You take out a 1x leverage, $9,000 short. Guess what? That is the same thing as selling your Bitcoin into cash. It is mathematically the same. When you're short, if Bitcoin were to go up in value, you would lose Bitcoin in your short, but your Bitcoin would gain in dollar value. It comes out in the wash. Or if Bitcoin does go down in price, then you gain Bitcoin, but your Bitcoin is worth less. Therefore, you have the same amount of US dollar value in the account. Therefore, by hedging up, you can just sell out of the market and be flat. Therefore, in times of high volatility, when Bitcoin is underneath our baseline, we often recommend to people, hey, maybe just sell out of Bitcoin for now, or hedge up and just wait to see what happens.
And I think that's a great moment to mention, yes, you can go 1x short, but this is how leverage is actually utilized properly, because you want to hedge up your account, but you don't want to have to put enough onto the exchange to actually have to front that capital. So these are good opportunities to use maybe 2x or 3x, which gives you a very large liquidation, but allows you to completely hedge up your account with capital on the side should there be an opportunity that you want to invest in or something like that. So this is the only way I believe that you should be really utilizing leverage, in the sense that I don't think people utilize leverage in the correct way, and I think it's important to point out.
I don't want to go into this huge thing about leverage.
No, you're right. I don't want to go deep into that, but I think it's a good coattail to that. So
I will add, part of the question revolved around emotional discipline.
Yeah, and I hear you. I will definitely be getting there.
Oh yeah, no worries. I was going to add my 2 cents, but by all means,
take
it away.
Then I apologize.
Jeez, just bite his head off.
No, it's all good. It's all good. If Alex, I'll let you finish your thoughts, and if I have anything to add, I will. But go ahead.
Okay. So here is the thing about hedging. Hedging is just like if you were to sell out. Maybe price keeps moving without you. Guess what? You miss out on gains, but you don't lose any dollar value in your account. Hedging works the same way. You could lose Bitcoin or ETH in your account, but you will not lose any dollar value in your account, because it's mathematically the same as going short. It's mathematically the same as going flat. It's just selling your Bitcoin into cash or selling your Ethereum into cash. Now, when should you hedge up? When should you ever sell out of an asset into cash? Whenever you think it's a good idea. Perhaps you have some rules, maybe during times of high volatility, maybe during times when it's below an important moving average that you follow. We use the whole 60 here at Cracking Crypto, but you could do anything. Maybe you're like, I hedge up when RSI is over 90. That's it. Bitcoin's too hot. I'm out. Maybe you're like, I only hedge up when Bitcoin, on days that end with Y. You have a rule, you follow it, whatever. So that being said, there are probably good places to hedge and bad places to hedge. There are good places to sell out of an asset and bad places to sell out of an asset. I have, do you sell at the bottom of big red candles? Generally, it's not the best time to sell an asset. And in the same way, it's not a great time to hedge up, generally, at the bottom of a big red candle. Emotionally speaking, I think hedging can be difficult because people see a red number and they see, I lost,
I'm losing.
I'm using air quotes, I lost something in my account, therefore I have lost something, but you haven't. You have reduced risk. There's no, you took risk off the table. You sold into cash, but it doesn't feel that way. So in the same way that you feel bad that you've missed out on gains, if you were to sell Ethereum at, I don't know. You sold Ethereum at a low price and then it went back up to a higher price. You think, I could have sold it at that higher price. Why did I sell the bottom? In the same way, someone could hedge a bottom and it moves back up. You're like, why did I hedge a bottom? Well, it's unfortunate. It's because, it's an emotional thing. There's money involved. I would suggest to you to think of hedging as a longer term thing, not something that you do like every other day or every week or so. Like the last time we were, hedged up in Bitcoin was all the way back in, early December. And before that, it was we were hedged up during August to September. So a couple instances here. One here where we came below the baseline. Essentially, I would only hedge up if I were the type of person who were actively trading or I wanted to, hedging is not compatible with a buy and hold strategy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If your strategy is just to buy and hold forever, then hedging doesn't make sense because hedging is like selling an asset into cash. But if you're the type of person that wants to take money off the table near a top and then when the asset looks bullish again, get back in, that's what hedging is for. Sometimes, just like selling out of an asset near a top and then buying back in, sometimes it works out where you did sell the top and the price goes down and you're able to buy back in at a lower price and you have more of the asset because you did that. Or maybe you sold at what you thought was near a top and then price kept moving up and then price kept moving up again and you're like, well, time to get back in, and you buy back in and you have a little less than you would have had you just sat and held. That's like taking a hedge short and having to get out a little higher than you started. It's mathematically the same. But again, emotionally, seeing a red number, it feels bad. It feels bad, man.
Yeah, well said. I do think a big part of this is the emotional aspect of being in Bitcoin, right? I think most of us are waiting for Bitcoin and most of these cryptos they're always poised on the verge of breakout, right? That's probably why a lot of people are in this space. They're expecting a sudden breakout to new all-time highs at any given moment. So at any time the hedge goes against you, you feel uncomfortable, right? You're like, oh man, I'm missing what could be potential massive gains. Why am I hedged? Bitcoin is something you never hedge, you never short. Is some of the thoughts that enter your mind when the hedge goes against you. But really, it's a strategy I find of more professional approaches, right? Like more retail type investors like me. We are the hodlers. I don't like losing Bitcoin. I can stomach the spot price dropping the way it did, for instance, the last few days. But I'm comfortable. I'm not losing a single sat. A professional has got a different approach. They got a completely different mindset. They're trying to preserve USD capital. They think in USD, and that's not entirely compatible with moon boys, hodlers like me, more retail people like me. So really, it is a mindset thing, and a big part of that is, again, Bitcoin, the excitement and the allure behind Bitcoin that it's gonna break out and go bonkers at any given moment. So you do have to stomach sometimes. I'm not sure if I would even call it drawdown, but yeah, you have to stomach that negative P&L when the trade goes against you. But you got to remain comfortable knowing that you are in cash, and if you are consistent, if you are professional, it's just gonna eventually hedging will work out. Eventually, you will end up coming away, because Bitcoin does have this thing where it can obviously lose 50% of its value, 80% of its value. When the bear market really sets in, you sure would prefer to be hedged in that, but you can get chopped up a bit, guys. Obviously, if you're going to hedge very aggressively as soon as you close under the daily baseline, you're bound to get, like, in that sense, it would be called throwback. Like, you're going to get a retracement probably to put you in the red for a little bit. Exactly, and so you got to be mentally prepared for that. But you got to remember that, you know, if you're not losing anything. If your name of the game is to preserve USD capital, you're going to treat this like a professional and value everything in USD. It really shouldn't phase you. If you are you need to have that mental strength. It's tough. Trust me, like when I put out the hedge days before we dumped, even in my head emotionally, I was going through like, oh man, I don't want to be wrong on this. This sucks. Like, but at the same time, it was the right decision. Like, you can't let your emotions affect the way you trade. If you let them if you combine the two, you're gonna do exactly what the market wants you to do. Like, isn't it kind of odd that 95% of traders lose money, and people that get into this get really good at longing tops, and I mean shorting, longing tops and shorting bottoms? Like, that's not a coincidence. It's designed to beat you, and if you let your emotions control you, you will lose. Yeah, kind of how Jonathan W, he says in the live chat, I'm a pro at selling bottoms if anybody wants advice. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people can attest to that. We somehow always, you can consistently always make the wrong mistake if you follow your emotions. So what can we say? Keep the emotions out of it, guys, and knock out there. I think we've said enough on hedging. If we do need any further counsel, Subtext, hit us up. Maybe in the Discord or something.
Just let us know if we didn't cover it fully. Subtext.
I think one of the things Subtext, you know where to find us. Follows up with here. Subtext says, pro tip: just follow the signals when Jason posts them. Even if you're in the middle of doing something, stop everything you're doing and take the signal. I think part of the trouble was that Subtext took the hedge quite a bit later. She took it 2 days later, and I told her, I'm like, I specifically said, look, I don't want to tell you the wrong thing right now, because the right answer was to do it when I did it. So I don't think you should just go ahead and jump on in, and you might be paying for that right now, but just deep breath. Hey, you will have a chance.
It's something that we've all done. I've hedged near a bottom before. You're like, Jesus, how much farther are we going to fall? Yeah. I should have hedged a couple days ago. Let me just hedge up now. And then of course, that's always when price reverses every time, and then you're underwater.
Yep.
But another way of looking at it is, are you underwater? All you did is sell into cash. I mean, if you let go right now, you just have the same amount of cash as you did earlier, but
just losing a little bit of ETH.
If you look and there's fewer ETH in your account, I feel you. Emotionally, it is different, but you must steel yourself. Mathematically, it is the same as taking off risk.
Yeah, naturally, when you hedge,
you're in a better position than most of the market.
And more often than not, when you hedge, once you close below the baseline, there's always that throwback, like Jason said. There's always that candle, that wick that pops up above the baseline, and then the trend to the downside continues. So you just got to be able to stomach that. And there's plenty of times in the crypto market history, where you have prayed that you hedged as soon as the daily or the weekly close baseline. So it seems, looking at it a day or two after you put the hedge on, you're not super comfortable with how it looks, but you go forward a week or two, a month later, and suddenly we're down 60%, 80% from the highs, and you're really glad you hedged anywhere near the highs. So don't beat yourself up. It might still be the right decision. We are still below the baseline.
It is the right decision.
You get chopped up, but if you remain consistent, I think in the hedging strategy, over time, you end up getting rewarded pretty well, if you ask me. So the problem is I think people hedge. I've done this before personally. I hedged, and it went against me. I had to unhedge, and I got chopped up. And then the next hedging opportunity, I was like, oh, I don't know. Last time I hedged, it didn't work out so good. And then that was the time I should have hedged. And then you know, you just keep making the wrong mistake. You got to remain consistent, and part of that is, I guess, psychological discipline.
Yeah, and you should, and however you decide to hedge, it should be a strategy, and you should follow the strategy the same way, because it's trading. It's really trading. It's like I am buying Bitcoin and selling Bitcoin when, and I'm buying Bitcoin to hold and then to sell at whatever market top I am deciding, you know, is my you know, goal. And, you know, here for CC, we use the daily baseline to sort of give us an idea of that. And you know, it works well. We've back tested it, but it could be anything. You just have to make sure it's consistent.
Yeah, like Alex mentioned earlier, I'm just going to start hedging when RSI gets over 90. You could do that with almost any indicator. You could find a way to try to figure out a hedging strategy. Then you just need to back test it and see if it's worthwhile.
Yep, but I'll also remind everyone, this is probably more of a subconscious tick of ours. I think a lot of us in the space, we fundamentally don't really respect the fiat dollar, right? We consider Bitcoin to be priceless.
You don't respect the dollar?
You know, I do to some degree, but I think you know what I'm getting at,
yeah.
Well, you respect the pump at least, right?
I don't.
You respect the pump.
I don't feel bad for throwing my fiat away on stupid purchases over the years. You know, I don't feel bad when I gotta splurge the fiat on something, or I make a bad investment decision with the fiat. You know, fiat to me somehow is just fiat. I don't feel bad when I lose fiat. Bitcoin seems precious.
Hey, I'll take that dirty fiat off your hand, buddy.
Yeah, sure you would.
I hate to hear you be so tortured holding all that fiat.
You poor man.
Don't get me wrong.
Let me take this burden off of you.
Don't get me wrong. I'm still a cheapskate, but somehow the fiat, you know, there's always going to be more of it. I'm never going to be, I guess, lacking the fiat to some degree. But Bitcoin just feels so precious, so. You know,
you rarely hear Jack inflect like that, so he cares about this.
Yeah, and I think that comes into your mind when you're hedged, and you're like, okay, I'm happy, I guess, that I got this USD on my hands, but really, it's that I don't feel comfortable losing a single sat.
Baby.
Yeah. The BTC seems collectible, the fiat seems replaceable, right? So, I think that's part of the subconscious calculation that we make when we do these things that give us a bit of discomfort. But with that said, we got on long enough about the hedging. Let's get into.
All right, Mr. Ether here has a question, and he says, could we repeat all of that? Thank you.
No, thank you. Let's move into the next one. All right. Subtext.
Boo this man.
All right. Next request on the list was also from Subtext, and I think did we look at ETH USD already or no?
We did, but we'll look at it a little closely. I both know and would have assumed that you're hedged up on ETH. I think I'm looking for a retest all the way up here of the 1300, 1330 area, essentially this previous high. Swing up, retest it again, and then that will be a swing failure pattern on the higher time frames with a higher high, and then finally a lower high. And we want to try and score our short on the lower high. I still feel like we will come down towards the lows here. I don't think you necessarily need to abandon your hedge in shame. We've been above the daily baseline for quite a while. Here we are. We fell below it. You hedged up at the bottom of a red candle, and it's cool. We're testing below the bottom of this baseline. We're testing resistance right now. This is all normal behavior during a bearish trend. So like we gotta distribute here a little bit more. We could get some more sideways. It could be another few days of being underwater. I'm not necessarily saying that we're gonna reverse tomorrow. We had a pretty big dump today, but I still see it. I still see coming all the way down here. What's next?
Great, thanks to Subtext for today's request. Let's get into the next one, guys. We got about an hour left in the show. Excuse me. And we've got a few left to do. Let's get into the next one. This one comes from Skokie Cat. Request for later sushi. How do you feel about sushi retesting 7.8? He asks. Let's take a look at sushi.
He also had someone had a very good joke after that. That depends on how long it's been left out.
Eh.
Sushi on Chardex, I believe it wicked up to like $13.
I mean, it looks like it's in the process of retesting 720 right now. Oh yeah, you're good, man. This is a point of control. We'll definitely come up here and retest this area.
Sushi is looking strong, and that would be the moment to decide too, because you might get a swing failure pattern, but it does look on the short term that you probably have some upside, and that looks strong too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm not super down on Sushi in this spot necessarily. Where's our trend? Get out of here.
You must massage each grain of rice in Sushi.
It's kind of an interesting descending broadening wedge we got here. Generally, these things, well, speaking statistically, these things have the habit of breaking up. But obviously, we all know in trading, that means that it's like a little bit more than 60% of the time. So still a pretty big possibility it's going to break down. But that's interesting, at least, that we have this pattern right here. Trap below the 12-hour baseline. No real short signal for us yet. Yeah, so I think we can retest 720. I think it's doing that right now. After that, I still feel a little bearish on it like I do about the other alts. But there's technically nothing super bearish yet. So it remains to be seen. What's next?
All right, that's Sushi for Skokie Cat. Let's get into the next one. When are we going to do the CC trip, field trip to Japan and have some authentic sushi over there?
I would really love that if the COVID wasn't a thing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Shouldn't have said that.
Probably, yeah. Let's not get
first.
too...
You got to get microchipped first. Then we can go on the trip.
All right. Well, I look forward to it, guys.
All right.
Well, this stream's been good, guys. I think I just messed it up.
It's all good. Hopefully it's not all that bad, but let's move into the next request. Yeah, look forward to our field trip one of these days.
I would love to, dude. I've been learning Japanese for the past 124 days, so I'll be ready.
Our field trip's going to be to the re-education camp.
Yeah,
that's sad.
I think I'll be the first one to arrive there. I'll reserve you a bunk. All right. Let's see here. We have Jose Alves in the live chat requesting EOS USD or VET USD.
We'll look at them both.
Huh.
All right, VET back under resistance and now finding resistance at that level again. Oof, look how overbought we are on the hourly. It's quite a big bearish divergence wherever you want to draw it from over here.
Oh yeah. That is very yeah, invert that just to show them, like, you would think that was super bullish. Like,
so if you saw this, you think, okay, it made a new low and now it's just retesting support before it comes back up, right?
Yeah, that's what you think.
It's like a fake out. Guess what?
Inverse that B.
Man. Yep.
Swing failure, baby. It's the same thing.
Yeah, so by the way, you guys can invert the charts yourself with Alt and the I button. It's just
Alt I. It's
Alt
an
I.
Awesome tool. Also, Alt H is a horizontal line and Alt V is a vertical line. That saves me a lot of time in back testing.
Okay, so EOS just kind of feels like we have this pocket of liquidity that we drop below, come back up into it. Maybe we could come back up and retest the point of control. I would be surprised if we even did that. But yeah, very bearish on this. We've got a short open on it right now. What's next?
Did you do dot already?
Did you request that?
Well, we have quite a few dots in the pipeline here, so if you do want to get into dot, I can move that up the list. So we have the J Glover 68 says, thoughts on Polkadot for the year? I'm holding 70% ETH, 30% dot. So I think J Glover is asking for maybe a big high time frame view of dot.
I like dot for the future, man.
Good. It looks good in this spot. It looks a lot less bearish than the other alts we've been looking at.
That's a full signal today.
If it makes the new high. If it makes the new high, I might be willing to take it.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at a different chart, but yeah, it's close. Very close.
Yeah, we gotta break $18 here. We can close above $18. I'm in on the daily.
You son of a bitch. I'm in.
Yeah. But yeah, I think DOT here looks a lot more bullish than the other alts we've looked at so far. So
it does.
So far, so good.
Okay.
Oh, that's what I was looking at, that 4-hour signal. Okay, I thought that was the daily. I was like, that looks like a full signal.
All right, I've got a bit more to go on this DOT request. So I see the Bricks in the live chat requesting DOT Ethereum pairing, as well as a somewhat related Kusama Bitcoin pairing, and there's also a Kusama Ethereum request somewhere here. So maybe let's look at DOT Ethereum and Kusama while we're at it.
Kusama.
I mean, it's about as bullish. It's really kind of sidled up to our high here. Is our resistance. Let's see, where's our historical? All right, resistance there. Good. I guess I'm not necessarily sold. I love how it's curled up here, and it's very similar to .USD. But I want to buy it on the break of the high, not here at resistance, you know? So I think the best thing to do is to just wait on DOT until we get that breakout, whichever way you look at it, because it'll probably break out against ETH as it breaks out against the dollar too. So same basically the same thing here. So that's what I would keep my eyes on. As far as Kusama, not as bullish, but we do have this break of the downtrend shown like so. We almost got this full pullback. I think Kusama is at least good to take back towards its highs, back towards 110, 115 range. That's solid, right there. So taking along here, back towards that area, solid. Put me down as financial advice. Okay, not really, but yeah, it's essentially like that. That looks really good. But as far as higher, then I would want to wait for a break. So there's maybe a scalp long here on lower time frames, as we can see. Like so, we break the trend. There we go. Break the trend, come down, retest the point of control / retest the trend, and then retest the highs a little bit. I imagine Kusama ETH is going to be relatively similar. Ooh, interesting.
Ooh. You always know it's going to be a good chart when you get an ooh out of Alex.
Yeah, this is not super interesting, actually. This is, it's mostly traded sideways against ETH here.
It could be a springing activity, though.
We just don't have enough data. Where else could we get a Kusama ETH chart? Just Kraken. Let's try Bittrex. There's a little bit more data. It's more sideways. I don't think Kusama is much newer than this.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's, like, if it was a lot more data and it was like that would be a great, like, basing period, but just not enough data.
Well, for now, I would suggest that this actually looks a little toppy. These wicks up into the point of control. So I'm not super interested in Kusama ETH in this spot, but we also don't have a lot of data to work off of, so I'm not quite talking out of my ass, but just I'm just going on feelings right here. I'm just not seeing it. What's next?
All right, let's move into the next one, guys. Thank you for the extended analysis of DOT and Kusama across various markets. As for everybody putting in requests right now.
Kusama Bitcoin. You want a Kusama Bitcoin, not
yeah,
Kusama
there's also
Bitcoin.
a Kusama Bitcoin. If you're feeling very generous, we can do that.
It's Friday, and it's my birthday. Alex has to do it.
This looks much more interesting. On the one hand, I like how we have the break of this weekly resistance right here. On the other, we're just kind of like sitting in the middle of this volume right now. On lower time frames, I really feel like, again, it's kind of like Dot. I want the break of the high, because right now we're just kind of hanging out near the high, near resistance in the middle of the trading range. You know, our stop, if we took it, would have to be all the way back down here. Doesn't make sense. So, yeah, I just don't see Kusama right now. I don't see it. Dot is very suggestive, but Kusama is not into it.
All right, let's move into the next one. I see some chatter here in the live chat.
Hey, real quick, I wanted to just say something because someone reached out to me before the stream, and they're a newer trader, and they took a long in a place that they probably shouldn't have. But I told them, based off the chart on the 2 hour, that it did look okay to hang on to it, and you just hit a take profit that I posted for you. So I really hope that you're not just letting it ride and you're taking 50% off, because you got lucky here that the position is actually working out for you, but you need to take 50% off and move your stop loss to break even right now. You will regret it. It's Alexius, whoever you are. I hope that you're listening, but I just wanted to point that out because we just crossed it, and there's a good chance that that will be the only TP you hit.
Yes, this is not financial advice, but you in particular, here's what you should do with your account.
Yep. All right. You've been warned.
I'm just trying to help you out before you get burned, man.
Yep. Well, you know, if it is as Jason describes it, you took.
I mean, it's just good advice. He's telling you, hey, follow the strategy now that you're in profit, and that's good. You should follow the strategy now that you're in profit.
Yeah.
You need to lock it in for yourself, otherwise you're about to get smoked, I bet.
If you took an inopportune long and it somehow didn't slap you in the face, you're in profit. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. You don't always get lucky like this. So take your profits, move stop loss to break even, and get in the habit of doing that, because that's just how we do it here at CC. All right. I have to quickly highlight something here in the live chat. Where was it before I get a little too distracted? It had to do.
Do it now.
There. That I was going to talk about. There's some chatter here. Oh yes, what do you guys think the next support level is? Midwest mentions that he wants to see a dip all the way down to low 20k, high teens.
I just think it makes a lot of sense for us to wick through that CME gap to like maybe hit like 19.99, really scare the shit out of everyone. That makes a lot of sense to me when I look at the weekly.
I saw quite a few people taking the back with your prediction, and especially because you kind of predicted it'd be this weekend. And yeah, guys, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'm not sure if it's that bearish. I don't know if we're going to see that, but yeah, there are CME gaps down below that we could close. I just like to envision every scenario, because when you trade, you need to envision every single scenario. And in my head, I think this is the most likely for big money to make the most, as well as scare out most of the weak hands. Yeah, we are kind of in the downtrend here, guys. We did hedge up, so there's no reason to think that this couldn't melt down all the way to close gaps. It could just blast off, baby. Yeah, I think the CME gaps around, what, 26, 27K, another one around 23.4. Yeah, so...
I got these areas marked off as support.
Yeah, he's got it beautifully marked out.
I've got 27 area and 23 area. And then there's always the 20 area, but that just seems impossible.
Yeah, well, that's why I think that we'll get a wick down to there really quick, and it'll get bought back up, and support will hold at 24. And then we're off to the races, guys. If we do get that, I feel like we'll consolidate sideways for a while, I think, and then things will catch up, and then I think we're gonna have the real run. Okay, let's get into the next request. Guys, I have most of these requests logged, so if you're dropping a request in now, or you dropped a request in the last 5 minutes, rest assured we're going to get to it, but we still have a backlog of earlier requests to get to, so if you don't think your request is coming up right away, just hang tight. I assure you we will get to it. Let's do the next one.
We looked at SUSHI, we did this one, we did all of this. Next one is from Jose Alves. Would you take a look at ARPA USD? We looked at ARPA late in the show yesterday. Quick update.
I think that was what we skipped.
No, we looked at ARPA.
You did. You squeezed it in right at the end.
That's a nice inverse head and shoulders.
Where? Not with this.
Well, go down to like the 4 hour.
Okay.
You're right.
That being said, I do like the bullishness of this push down into the point of control and then the recovery here.
You're definitely gaining support there for sure. That doesn't look too bad right there.
Wish we had a daily baseline or weekly baseline. Let's look at 3-day. I just want a higher time frame view of this.
Ooh, I like that. Stair stepping up.
I like that we have basically made it over resistance and held it here. 3-day resistance.
When does that 3-day close? In 2 days?
Yes.
Okay, so you have time.
We'll see, but I think I am tentatively bullish on ARPA.
I'm with you. I just want to wait for a close to confirm it.
All right, tentatively bullish on ARPA. Let's. I presume that's.
Bitcoin pairing is suggesting a pullback maybe in this spot. We're starting to get a sell signal. Could get a pullback like the other US dollar pairings. We'll see.
All right, let's get into the next one. We got quite a few to power through, still left to do. This next one comes from Aziz Devon in the live chat. Let's take a look at Cardano and Ethereum, please. Oh, Ethereum's been covered. Let's take a look at Cardano.
Right now, ADA is retesting resistance. We'll see if it holds. If it does, then short it. And we definitely don't want a long resistance, guys.
Yeah, we don't do that around here, so.
As far as USDT pairing, this is more suggestive. This is not bad on the 12-hour. We've got essentially a retest of the local point of control. Come up, bounce off it. Now we're retesting the highs. Looks good to take to 37.5 cents, but I'm not looking to take this unless we break the high. Again, we're not going to buy resistance. This doesn't make sense, especially when we just started to cross below the daily baseline here. We're back up here. I'd exercise extreme caution in this spot. But if we did make a new high, and then I'd be like, hey, go for it. Looks good. In that case. What's next?
All right, that wraps up the Cardano analysis. Good pace so far from Alex. Let's keep it rolling. This next one comes from MacW in the live chat. I'm in an XLM short, he says. Are there any thoughts? Is he underwater suddenly in his stellar short? Is that what I'm supposed to take from this?
Well, we don't know where his entry is, so there's no way to know. Yeah, my thoughts are you're probably good here. This is just a retest. Oh, here we are below the baseline. Testing it from below. We've got this point of control right here. Could tap, but I think it's still good. Here you can see the local point of control. Yeah, I think you're still good on this. Just keep holding on to that short, buddy.
Holding on. Hold on and keep holding on. All right. Let's paste in this question here. I'm going to get to that shortly. Next one is a series of tickers. You tell me which one of these you want to do, Alex. This comes from John Batchelor in the live chat. Josh Batchelor. He says he's in BAT. Can you check that, please? Along with BAT, he's requesting NEO, ZRX, OMG, and Ethereum Classics. So, any of those you want to do? Let's start with BAT, and then I'll name the other ones.
At least. Let's think about the others. BAT. Quite a day. I would definitely take profits in this area right here. Whoops. Kind of hanging out the resistance in this spot. And then I just move my stop to wherever break even was and to just sit on my hands. It could keep going here. I don't see any signs of any weakness, of course. You know, it's just it's a day where bat pump, so there's really nothing to do except, you know, take some profits, congratulate yourself, and then sit on your hands.
Right, there you have it.
Get the classic real quick. I don't see anything particularly bullish here. Cross under here, making lower lows on higher time frames. Right now, nothing to do. We will see on ZRX here. This is fairly bullish movement as long as we keep moving up here. If we start to break back down here, then that's not so bullish. Heavy resistance overhead at 55 cents. It's the kind of area where I'd be looking short on lower time frames. All right. ZRX, and what else does this guy want?
I think it was OMG was on that list.
All right.
We'll round those out and get into the next one very shortly.
I feel like there's just nothing to do on OMG right now. We're in the no trade zone, not below the baseline or anything, hanging out at the point of control. It could be a short soon, like the other alts, but there's just nothing to really say one way or the other right now. We're just trading sideways.
All right, sideways on some of those alts. Let's take a look. Next question, I think this was answered in the live chat, but SPRJ Cube says, what site are you using to look at and make these charts? This is mostly TradingView. You're going to might need a TradingView subscription in order to use TradingView and to access some of the proprietary cracking cryptocurrency indicators that you see on Alex's screen. Well, you're going to need a premium membership to Cracking Crypto, which will unlock all those sweet indicators we've developed and released on TradingView. So if you're new to trading, don't rush into anything, but do start familiarizing yourself with tools like TradingView and ChartX. Let's get into the next one. This one is an extended question from somebody named IG in the live chat. He says, I'm a useless idiot, possibly also the non-useful kind of. All right, I'm not going to disparage you too bad, but he says that took out, so I'm a useless idiot who took out a $20,000 loan for trading. Half of it went in too early on the dip and is only just back to its break even. The other half went into CoinVest on Prime XBT. That's now down 50%. What would be a good simple move besides cashing out and leaving it to people with brain cells? Man, you're really beating yourself up today, IG. Listen, dude, it's
well, what you need to do is you need to have a longer time frame of looking at it. First of all, I don't know what it's doing in the what is this Prime XBT CoinVest or whatever? What is this?
Not too sure, but I'm guessing it's some kind of product that gives you exposure, some kind of fund maybe gives you exposure to Bitcoin, I suppose. I'd have to Google it really quickly in the background.
Well, I mean, it sounds like whatever they exposed him to is way too volatile. I mean, Jesus, like even Bitcoin and Ethereum aren't down 50% in the last few days. I don't understand how you lost 50% on this.
You know how he did that? Based on my quick Googling, Prime XBT is the #1 trading platform offering up to 100x leverage. Yes, so he's probably in a leveraged position.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So he put half into spot and the other half long, I presume.
Well, what I would do is, chances are, when you took out your loan, you said to yourself, man, if I could just make like like even 50% in a year or 100% in a year, it would be worth it, right? And then, and I'll pay this, I'll pay the, I'll pay the fees or whatever and the interest, and then I'll cash out towards the end. But here you are, I think you have a lower time frame preference, and you see how volatile Bitcoin actually is now that you are in the market and you have owned Bitcoin. And it is not the same as looking at it from the distance and saying, well, I'll just hold on to it for a year or so, right? My first suggestion would be to stop leverage trading. You don't know what the hell you're doing, and you're going to lose all your money. If you are leverage trading, it sounds like that's the case. If I'm correct that you have that you got the loan with the intention of a long-term hold, and now you're kind of trading it, stop that. What are you doing? And if you got the loan with the intention to use it as a trading account and you're going to become a full-time trader, I would just suggest you just not do that with borrowed money, and you actually have a trading account, a small trading account of like $500 with your own money, because you're going to lose your first trading account probably. And if you want to lose that $20,000 of borrowed money, then becoming a trader is a great way to do that. Because I guarantee you sometime in the first year or two, you're going to lose that first account, most likely. So I guess that's my best advice for you, man, is to try and have a higher time frame preference. Maybe you learned your lesson about actively trading. It's very difficult to get the timing right. And with leverage, it makes it even more difficult. The more margin that you use, the less margin for error you have.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it's a hard lesson.
Proceed.
But in 6 months or so, I guarantee you that you won't miss the $5,000 that you've lost so far. Because it sounds like you're breaking even on the other position. Great. Good. So you really, it's only the 50% of the other one that you lost margin trading. That's the problem. First of all, stop margin trading. All right. So I hope that covers everything for you. I think the best advice would just to be to whatever you were doing before, stop doing that. It's not working. And then you maybe sit down and do a little bit more studying and research. And maybe we do pull back more here. Just sit on your hands and stuff. And if you see, just dollar cost average in, buy on, really red days when everybody panics and stuff. And 6 months time, you'll be happy.
Yep. Proceed with caution. IG, do not, maybe you should not even be playing with borrowed money. And what I think you'd be best served with is stopping into our Discord, joining our community, and starting off very slow. All right, take trades that we might suggest, and low risk. But I don't want to rehash exactly everything we do around here. Your best bet is if you got lucky and you can get out a break even. I consider doing that and not re-entering any more positions until you're really secure in what you're doing, because it's to take out a 20k loan and suddenly go knee deep into the crypto markets might get you in a lot of trouble. So if this somehow doesn't get you wrecked,
be awesome.
Yeah, if this doesn't get you wrecked and you can already eventually get out at break even, all right, count your blessings that you didn't get smoked on the first try. And then don't repeat that same mistake. The worst thing you can do right now is actually be right. I'm worried, because you're gonna have the kind of a degen long scenario here that ends up playing out, and it'll reward what might have been a haphazard kind of play. So get out, maybe at break even.
And don't try and make your $5,000 back right away.
So yeah, trade safely, dude. Be careful out there, and if you're lucky, get out at break even. Maybe we'll get a bounce here and you'll get out, but after that you really need to walk away for a bit and stay away from the leveraged business.
How long have I been off?
A good while from the sounds of it.
What? Oh my god, I've been talking this whole goddamn time. Happy birthday to me. Damn it. I really wanted to weigh in on this, and because I think it's really important, especially for new traders. You took that money out because you wanted to invest it to make more money. But if you think about the statistics of trading, 99% or 95 to 99% of traders lose money, which means statistically it's probably harder to make money than it is to lose money. So the whole point of having that money in the first place was to educate yourself and then make your move. If you're spending your money before you even learn what you're doing, you're destined to fail at it. And you're always going to come back and be like, oh my God, if I would have just thought to myself or just stayed in and not done anything, not touched my investment, I'd be up so much right now. I guarantee it's going to happen to you. What you need to do is keep the capital on the side and start educating yourself first. If you don't know why you're trading or what you're doing, you're going to lose. I promise you.
I think it's actually a great kind of follow-up to the earlier discussion about hedging. It's like it's guys, if you're new to the market, it's incredibly important that you understand the difference between buy and hold and active trading.
In investment and trading capital, this should be different.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you should be putting on trades that, if you got 20,000 to work with, your initial trade should not lose you more than $200 if they go against you. So
I forgot who I heard this from, but it really stuck out to me when I first started trading, and I say it to almost everyone who talks to me within the Discord, that your initial goal as a trader coming into this space should not be any percentages or anything like that. Try to trade and break even. That is your challenge.
All right.
It's way harder than it sounds.
28 minutes left on the show, guys. Let's get into the next one. This one also might take a little longer. Alex, you tell me if you want to do this or save this for tomorrow. But subtext ask, Alex, could you quickly just demonstrate how you use the fib tool again? Do you want to quickly go over the fib tool, or do you want to save that maybe for another stream?
The trend-based fib extension tool, or the fib retracement tool?
I imagine maybe both, because they're kind of similar. Up to you though. If you want, we can just move into the next request and pick this up.
Well, I'll be pretty. I can talk about it because it's pretty quick. Okay, you draw it for the fib extension tool right here. Trend-based fib extension. You draw from low to high to low, and that gives you the fib extension. 0 to 1 is from the high to low that you drew. Okay. And then it gives you these support and resistance levels that are questionably followed. Institutions are using these spots for placing their orders, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they will be
filled.
No, it doesn't mean that they will be respected in the ways that you think that they will be respected.
Oh.
Yeah, for instance, here this spot was resistance, but all we ever got off of this level was support. This wasn't much support here. So yeah, these are things I only use during price discovery. Normally I don't care about fibs, trend-based fib extensions at all. I guess some people use them for trading, but I think it's just a little bit too discretionary.
It's great for speculation. That's about it. I don't use fibs in any of my trading algorithms.
Yeah, it's, I guess you would have been okay had you put some sell orders up here. But, there's no guarantee of that. As far as the actual Fibonacci retracement tool is, you use that from the beginning to end of the move. So if it's an up move, it's from bottom to top, and if it's a down move, it's top to bottom. That's not the right tool. And essentially this calculates the percentage of the move that has been retraced. In this case, 23.6% of the move was retraced, and then we just kept going. This gives you potential support levels or potential resistance levels if it's the other way around. If you're, if you're looking at a downtrend. Again, it can be helpful if you have no idea where possible support levels could be. I guarantee you other traders are also using this retracement tool, and therefore it's probably going to bounce off of one of these levels, but who knows which one. So, or who knows if it's going to bounce at all. Sometimes the entire move gets retraced. We see that in the markets. So, again, it is a tool that can be helpful, but you got to know why you're using it. What am I getting out of it? What information am I going to use in this trade that I'm about to take? Otherwise, it's just kind of mental masturbation. It's like, oh, look, it touched these lines that I had drawn on my thing. It's like, well, great, but if you couldn't get usable trading information out of it, then I don't see how it helps you.
Yeah, it's just going to add to your analysis paralysis.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I really only use trend-based fib extensions. It's because there's basically, when price goes into price discovery, when it makes new all-time highs or new all-time lows, who knows where it's going next? There's no historical data, so it's very difficult to do technical analysis without historical data to work on it, right? So you have to use tools like the trend-based fib extension to kind of like extend the historical data outwards. I guess it's about the only way I can put it.
Good best
anyway,
guess.
I hope that answers your question. If you need resources on trading it, I can send it to you. But like I said, I don't trade these much. So
follow up in the DMs on Discord if you need further info. Let's get into the next one because we are kind of in the final 13 minutes of the show, and I still got a few requests I want to do, including the next one comes from Devor Sabin in the live chat. Link USD requests Davor.
I also my mic must have been muted. That's why you guys didn't hear me. I was like, I also for once want to put in a request.
Oh, what's that?
I was just looking at 1 inch on the 4 hour, and I wanted to see what you thought.
All right, we'll get to 1 inch shortly. For now, let's get into the link for Davor.
Okay.
Yeah, you push backspace. You were so close.
So never mind. Jack says this other way.
All right, sorry, man. He says what's up.
This looks pretty bullish here. We do have the break of a downtrend here. 4 more hours till this closes, though. We're just still at resistance. We gotta make a new high before I want to buy in again here. It's definitely very suggestive. I like how we've recovered above resistance, which is roughly at $20 in this spot. And if we close the day like this, it'll be a pretty bullish close, but we still have a few more hours to go. I would just wait and see. If we close tomorrow above here, all in, baby.
All in, baby.
Yeah.
Link to the past.
All right, chain link done. You gonna move straight into 1 inch, or do you want to knock out a few of these other ones first?
Yes.
All right.
He's the birthday boy.
You always move into a 1 inch. Here we go.
All right, Chuck E. Cheese 1 inch party right now.
I'm telling you, I just glanced at it on the 4 hour. I think she's setting up. Could be a swing failure though.
I am not sold yet.
Actually, the funny thing is, I was looking at it on ChartX, and now that you have it pulled up with all the indicators, I'm like, meh.
I hear you. Well, let's look at it at ChartX so they can see what you're seeing.
Was it the 4 hour or was it the 1 hour? What do I have it on? ChartX.
I agree. It doesn't look too bad here on ChartX, does it?
Yeah, it's starting to coil up nicely. Just at first glance, I was like, well, that looks pretty good. Starting to get that break. Because I would actually argue that you have a descending channel with one outlier of a fake out. So I would draw it as a descending channel, and you're just getting the break right now. But that's neither here nor there.
Like this?
No, I would consider that the outlier. There you go. I would do it like that, and then go, and then the bottom, I would be a descending channel. and you're getting the break. But that could be wrong.
What, like this?
Yeah, that's the way I see it in my head.
Okay.
It could be something. It's probably not, though. You might get a swing failure.
You can also see it like this.
Yeah, I don't like that.
For what it's worth, I'm with him in that if we can break this channel, however you want to draw it, we broke it upwards, then it would be a great trade. And I probably want to take it up towards like the previous high, towards like $2.50, $2.65 roughly. That'd be a great area to target.
I'm taking it to $8, baby.
I mean, I do like this retest of the previous high here. So
yeah, that's what I was kind of looking at, because the old resistance are now it's tapping on the top of it for support. So
okay.
Interessante. On to the next one.
All right, let's move into the next one. Only a few minutes left in the show. Let's try to power through these next few guys. XLM for Jonathan W. Can we take a peek at
We did XLM.
Yes, we did. All right, moving on.
And he did a stellar job.
Yes.
Ryan O'Malley in the live chat. HBAR USDT, please.
Ryan O'Malley. Did you know I used to have an Irish name, and it was in college? It was Patio Furniture. Always got the girls with the old fake accent. You gotta give it a go.
Right now, I do not find this super appealing. This feels just like a retest of this of resistance. So, well, we finally peter out on the 12-hour here. See, big candle, medium candle, small candle with a tiny wick, and then thump. We come back up. We retest the high. Now we're in for some more downside, if you ask me. I do not like this. That being said, if we made a new high, then I would be interested. But only if we made the new high. Otherwise, we're at resistance, and I'm not interested.
All right.
Long resistance here.
That's HBAR for you. Let's do the next one. This one is DPF in the live chat. Can we resume uptrend for the WISE token? Take a quick look at WISE token. Does it look like it's about to make another move up?
Sounds like it pulled back like we said it would. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I love this spot to pick up WISE token. We have not yet broken the trend.
It's almost
there. To.
That's like a cup and handle pattern. That would be the handle.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm going to be really bad at explaining that. But when I look at charts, that pattern is the last leg before you get the breakout. Usually, if that breaks up, that's going to be extremely bullish. I think you get a new all-time high if that breaks up.
Okay, I will agree to that. So where would a measured move of this descending wedge take us, if this is a descending wedge? I can never find these things. I use it on these charts all day long. I can never find the tools.
Make a copy. There we go.
I guess for right now, I would just take it for a retest of the previous high. I think that would be a safe trade, and that take profit. That's almost 80% or so. Never mind. It's got to do it this way, but yeah, 80%, roughly 80% trade. I think it looks good in this spot. I like this. Kind of lower low here where we stop it out. We come back up. We reclaim support. And you got yourself an accumulation area.
Yeah, I like WISE there.
That's right. Remember, Wyckoff accumulation. Swear, guys, once you start learning to recognize these things, you see them all over in the markets.
You see them everywhere. That's what I mean. Like, because I accidentally said cup and handle, because the way I actually see the other half of the chart, the data isn't there though. Because that would be the big swoop up that makes the bottom of the cup, and now you're getting the handle on, and now you would have your breakout. But of course, my idiot mind is not going to explain that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
You do, but Alex is right. When you do this for a while, you do just start seeing things everywhere, like patterns. You're like, oh, yep. It becomes very quick.
You got to be careful. Sometimes it's your pattern recognition system, like setting off false negatives. You get better at that as time goes on, though.
Yeah, that just comes with anything. I think experience, like anything else in life.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I lost $500 last time I tried the pattern like this, so I'm not going to trade it like this time.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm gonna trade this pattern until it mentally beats me up enough to where I won't take it anymore.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the next question. Something just came in from SPRJ Cube in the live chat, and this is a quick answer. I know you guys only do crypto, but can you explain what's going on with GME? Something about squeezing short sellers and forcing them to buy high, forcing the price up even more. Yeah, this is a simple one. I think we mentioned this frequently on the show. Can you want to explain when short sellers get squeezed, how that leads to the price decline?
I actually know more about this story because I was reading about it yesterday. All right, so there's this one dude who runs a quote-unquote investment firm of one man called the Citron Group. He likes to put out reports on companies that he is shorting. We had something similar here in crypto where someone put out a Zeus Capital put out something on Link. You remember that? It's like, oh, you guys need to short Link. Is the big Link scam exposed, etc., etc. Well, yeah, he's putting out fear, uncertainty, doubt on GameStop. Well, so this guy who has enough money that, I guess it matters that he has an investment firm or whatever. He shorts GameStop. Okay, so when you short something, you borrow the stock from your broker against the money that you have in the account, and then you sell the stock on the open market, and then the money stays in your account, okay? And then whenever you close your short, you buy back the stock and return it to the person you borrowed it from. So when the price changes, you sell something for $10, and then you buy it back for $9, and you return to the person you borrowed it from. You're like, thanks, buddy. Why?
I'll take my.
Because you made the dollar off the difference, right? You sold it for $10, you bought it back for $9, and you gave it back to the person, and they don't care. They've got their stock back. That's all they care about. They're a buy and hold person. You know, what you do with it in the meantime doesn't matter. So essentially, Wall Street Bets has looked at GameStop, and they're like, actually, GameStop is a decent looking stock right now. You know, the price is low, and it had some bullish stuff going on. Well, if you are short, how do you close that short? Well, that's right. You got to buy back the stock that you borrowed in returns from the person you borrowed it from, right? You close a short by covering your short, aka by buying. So, what's a short squeeze? Well, a short squeeze is when you as a short are underwater, and then eventually you have to close it as a loss. How do you close it? You close it by buying even more. Even though it got bought up to the level where you as a shorter have to close it, now you've got to buy at this even higher price to get out of your short so you don't lose all of your money. We've probably already lost a decent amount on it in this in this scenario. Alternately, if you get liquidated, they will just take your money and then buy back the stock on the open market to return to the person who it was borrowed from, because the systems are automated now. It used to be there would be a margin call where someone would call your house and be like, hey, you need to put more margin on your account, or we're going to take your stocks away from you and close your account. So I hope that explains the GameStop situation. Basically, someone with a decent amount of money shorted GameStop, and Wall Street Bets was like, I don't really see it. Let's buy it. And then this guy is going to have to buy from us at the higher price because he is going to have to close his shorts at a loss.
Yep. This was funny enough. My cousin messaged me yesterday. He's like, "Did you hear about this huge drama on Reddit concerning GameStop and this big shorter getting wrecked?" And he kind of filled me in on the drama. Yeah, I guess Alex and SPRJ Cube in the live chat were following the story. Hopefully that sheds some light on it. All right, we're gonna run into a little over.
Be in a nice cross section of my interests, which includes spending time on Reddit and spending time trading and looking at stock charts. So I happen to know a little bit about the situation.
All right, let's run into overtime a little bit, and let's see if we can answer a last few of these requests and questions really quick. First one is, would it make sense to pull some Bitcoin out of cold storage to properly hedge or short? This comes from subtext, so it's about pulling more Bitcoin out of cold storage in order to properly hedge, because if you are leveraging up your hedge in order to reflect your overall balance in cold storage, 3x, 2x leverage could leave you open to liquidation, unfortunately.
It would make sense if your other alternative were that you were thinking of selling your Bitcoin into cash and just sitting in cash for a while, because that is what a hedge is.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you're telling me I want to hedge, is this a good way to hedge? Then yeah, you could totally do it that way. You can. I mean, you could. I said that you could take a 1x, leverage short with all your accounts, and it'll just be 1x of your account. And it's like selling the cash. But you could do a 2x with 50% of your account, and it's mathematically the same. You'll gain and lose the same amount of money. A 3x with a third of your account, etc. But of course, then you begin to risk liquidation. Bitcoin does move 33% at times. It's rare, but it does happen. So 3x short, could see that position get leveraged or get liquidated.
That's why I think we're gonna have a wick to 19.
Yeah, I will add, my only fear and concern in scenarios where you move your entire balance onto exchange, particularly if you own a significant amount of Bitcoin, is you're opening yourself up to counterparty risk. I'm not expecting Bybit to go down and exit scam everybody tomorrow, but you just never know if that will happen. My Bitcoin is safest when it's in my control. That's why I'm not super comfortable about the idea of hedging my entire balance at 1x. That would require moving a lot of Bitcoin over to Bybit. I just don't feel super comfortable knowing my whole stack is in one place like that, out of my control. So that's, I guess, why you might want to split it up, or those alternative ways, but we can't explore all of that. But I hope that was a good answer for subtext. Let's move into the next few. I'm going to quickly read these off. This one's also from subtext. Random question. How do you guys feel about taking trades based on one's understanding of how a token technology works? I trade PTP and follow signals. So I guess this is a question of how do you feel about trading purely the charts and not doing fundamentals, or vice versa?
That's what I do, man.
Wait, are you sure she said trading based purely on the chart, not fundamentals? It sounded like she was saying, how do you feel about trading purely on fundamentals and not on the chart?
How do you feel about taking trades based on one's understanding of how a token or the technology works? Right, so how do you feel about people who trade fundamentals? Yeah,
that's fundamentals. Yeah, I don't trade fundamentals.
Yeah,
you can totally trade fundamentals over the long term. I'd say it's more of an investment strategy. Mm-hmm. From what I see, I do not see the charts respect fundamentals at all on the daily time frame or lower.
Jesse Stein would argue.
Yeah, what does it mean for a chart to obey the fundamentals on lower time frames? It's not like we see a heavy correlation between between Bitcoin's NVT ratio, the transaction ratio. Or anything like that. So there's no fundamental that can give us any short-term signal unless we have some sort of inside information on a news story coming out. So I would say your really only hope for trading fundamentals is looking at things over a longer-term time frame, and then buying a project due to your superior understanding of its future effects on the market that the market just doesn't see yet. Or you could look at it and maybe you're trading based on fundamentals, but you're choosing an entry and timing based partially on technicals, in the sense that you look and you're like, price is really low right now. The market is undervaluing this asset. It's kind of Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger style type trading. They're much longer term traders, but they are traders. They're looking to buy a company when it's super low and undervalued and flip it when it's worth a whole bunch of money and everybody's crazy about it. They don't care about the companies.
Patience.
Yeah, I would say that unless you are literally some kind of crypto guru, you're likely never going to get anything more than a superficial understanding of the technicals behind, or the fundamentals behind the crypto you're looking at, right? So unless like you're really hardcore, you're auditing the code, you've got a great understanding of how the game theory works of the network they're trying to build out, at best you're going to get more of a marketing pitch understanding of the crypto, which is fine because this is still speculative driven, right? So it's like if you understand that, Theta is going to be big because it's going to do video on demand or something like that, that's really all that matters. You realize that most of the speculators that are going to come in after you are going to go solely based on that really superficial sales pitch. So
and then you have someone like me who comes in, looks at the chart and see where the liquidity lies and go, hey, there's an opportunity for me to make some money. I don't even think about what the project's doing.
Yeah, I really think that it makes it so much simpler just to work with the data in front of us, guys, and the fundamentals are almost inconsequential in the space at this point. We've seen garbage pump. It's all hype driven. We've seen garbage pump, and we've seen quality projects just dwindle on the wayside.
The way that I think about it, this is all just human nature. We create markets, we hype drive stuff, we just do this. And this is how money works in markets. And the way I see it as trading, not investing, trading, I see here's a chance for me to be able to grab money out of the market without people knowing it. And that's what other people are doing.
Like grab money out of the market without people knowing it. Be sure to like and subscribe.
That was a good one, bud.
Good. Yep. For long-term investing, fundamentals for sure. For the trading and swinging, let's leave that to the purely chart technical analysis.
Make sure you separate that too, because you can get yourself so invested because you know so much that you bias yourself and you go, no, this has to go up. Look at this. No one understands it but me. You're mixing your emotion right there with your money, and that's usually what gets you in trouble.
All right, let's see if Alex wants to cover any more of these. This one comes from Raymond Compton. Nano USD. It's an oldie but a goodie. Check out Nano on the 1 day for potential. Then look at the 30-minute. All-time high is at $30 for Nano, but it's currently sitting at 3 and it's showing a parabolic pattern. What are your thoughts?
I'm not super excited about this, man. It just slipped under the daily baseline. Nano's a short. Or just about to be, anyway. I am definitely not considering this right now. Maybe after we get a pullback here, like a lot of the other ones, that you're right, it pumped super hard. It's up like 400%. I would let it pull back a little bit more before I would take it. And we haven't had a real full pullback yet.
All right, parabolic trend, not potentially confirmed yet. We're not going to $30 just yet, Raymond, so hang tight. Yep. And maybe we'll find another one. Only got a few more left on my list. Alex, you tell me if you want to do any of these. This one's from Mr. Ether. He asks, can we look at ENJ and HEX USD?
Hex. I'll do it for Mr. Ether because it's Mr. Ether who
because it's
us.
Him. I agree.
You do it for my birthday.
Yeah.
I got you, Mr. Ether.
Looks very similar to what we're seeing on the other charts here. We look just kind of topped out, retesting resistance before we pull back. I would try and pick it up maybe more towards 25 cents. I like that. Maybe a retest of the point of control down in this area.
Yeah. Just a shitload of swing failure patterns setting up, huh?
Yeah. Everybody is getting used to longing alts every time, every time they sneeze. So,
yeah.
All right. So there was Engine, and then there was, what was the other one?
Engine and
Hex.
How'd you forget Hex? You were so angry about it.
I'm not seeing anything here for us on the Bitcoin pairing. So far below the daily baseline. It's just going to stay out right now. As far as the USDT pairing,
put a hex on that hex.
Below the daily baseline here. Not too much for us to do. There's some hope in that we're at support here. but there's not much for us to do in this spot.
All right.
Could get a bounce here, but I would be very cautious if I were buying this reversal. I'd be making sure I was out if we drop below support at all.
All right. Well, we're about 10 minutes into the overtime segment. Not to cut Alex off too short. Alex, if you're interested, we can cut it off here. If not, we can look at. We still have USD Canadian on the list. We have the XAU being requested. And we have XRP as the remaining 3 requests. You tell me if you want to cut it off or do you want to entertain it?
I will do them, especially because USD CAD, he was like the first request.
It was, yep.
So, in recognition of your first requestedness, your first post, I like it. Well, we're kind of looking for the USD to be reversing in this spot, and I think we're starting to see that here in the USD pairings. Sellers are having a really hard time pushing USD CAD down here. Buyers are just buying right into them. The USD Rand here is also not looking too bad. Above the daily baseline. As a matter of fact, I would consider this continuation long sale at the end of today, wouldn't you?
I would.
Yep.
And here's the thing. I like those ones even more because you don't need a WADA for continuation, but when you have WADA and rising explosion level as well as a continuation, I love that trifecta.
That is really nice. Yeah. So I would say right now, the Dixie is looking like it may not be done with us.
Oh, Bitcoin.
We got a break of the Dixie downtrend.
Make sure that over the weekend, guys, you are zooming out. Do not let the immediate volatility scare the shit out of you to the point you make a very dumb decision, and then we open up Monday back at the same price.
All right, so there was the Dixie, there was USD CAD, there was ZERP.
That's correct.
Must not have been here for my ZERP lecture the other day. Why, man? Why? There's nothing interesting going on here on ZERP right now.
And there's nothing good in the news. And I mean, you might want to try to counter trade that, but what is the point?
There's just other alts that don't have bad news out about it right now, that aren't facing regulatory hurdles, and are looking like they're going to make new highs. XRP is telling us, I'm going to be sitting here for a little while.
Speaking of which, can we look at EOS BTC?
Looked at it a little earlier. It's just hanging around the point of control still.
Like for my 13 EMA system, this was a full signal, and I still stand by that. I just haven't taken it yet because I was waiting for this looks like a baseline pullback. This is probably something I'm going to be taking at a close.
Mm-hmm. He uses the 13 EMA system, not the whole 60. So his baseline
it's a different PTP style system that I have back tested. That's the whole point. Everyone builds their own to their own strengths.
Yeah. For me, with the time transformation cross under right here, I'm just not seeing EOS Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm. Which is understandable.
And the 12-hour here, see how we pause and then reverse.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that I might close a lot of my open alt positions just to lock in that profit, but I might take a chance on EOS.
And what was the last one? There's one more left.
XAU Gold.
Gold. All right. So yesterday, I think I said we were vaguely bullish on gold.
Yes.
Well, closing down today.
Hey, you over there.
Still holding this. Still holding the support level.
That was a good gold joke, guys.
Yeah. I would just do nothing right now. We're still below the daily baseline. We could get another continuation signal, in which case I'll short it again. But until then, nothing to do. Nothing to do.
Hey, we got a super chat that we must have missed.
Oh?
So we got to make sure we do that.
Yeah, let's take a quick
GB
look.
Wally, yeah. She said, would love another visit to GBTC. Carryover from yesterday. ETHE and LTCN as a bonus. All grayscale. Thank you, GBU, on the $5 donation. I don't know how many times I can thank you in my lifetime, but you keep making it possible, bud.
Yeah, Wally, sorry I missed the request. Not sure how it slipped by,
but... He has
by
far been the most kind to this channel out of anyone I've seen on the stream.
Oh, yeah. I guess I don't remember yesterday's TA enough to try and repeat. I look at, like, a lot of charts, man. So I don't know if I can follow up whatever yesterday's TA is, but it still looks bearish. It still needs to pull back, to one of these areas down here, and just a small lower time frame little blip right here doesn't really scare me off of that idea, especially because you see people really leaning into the selling here. Like, sellers are not getting exhausted; they're just getting started, in my opinion. So, yeah, we also have this break of the trend that we've been talking about here. 3-day bearish divergence. I'm not seeing it.
And GBU coming in with another $20, man. I gotta start hanging out with this guy more. He says, your analysis is always amazing, so thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. I hope it's true that it's always amazing. Sometimes it feels like it's about 50-50.
It can feel like a real thankless job what we do here, so it really does mean a lot when people show that they actually care. So
I would consider us to be, there's just no position to take here. We're basically right in the middle of the trading range. Kind of starting to look a little bullish on the daily, but we don't have any break of trend or anything to get super excited about. Yeah, I'm not buying it until, I'm literally not buying it until we're back above the daily baseline or anything. So I would think we'll see more of a pullback towards this area again.
All right, I'm gonna have to shout out really quick. Josh L came through with a $2 super chat as well, so thank you to Josh for the generous super chat. And of course, GB Wally came through with that $20 super chat was previously mentioned. All right, guys, we have gone quite a bit into the overtime. I know Wally might have even had a few more requests he wanted us to look at.
I'm done.
I think we're done, my man. I'm sorry we couldn't get to them all, guys. We have gone quite a bit over today. We do appreciate your super chats. We do appreciate your thumbs up.
Thank you all. Very appreciate it.
Yes, we appreciate the requests and your continued support, everyone. So it's been a great Friday episode of Breaking Bitcoin. We got to move to wrap because it is getting a little late. Shoutouts to Crypto Bull. Thank you, Crypto Bull, for signing up to cover 2+ hours of time stamping. It's really appreciated, Mr. Bull. Wally asking for LTCN. What's LTCN? Litecoin something or another? I'm not sure.
He did just give us like $35, so we better just at least look at whatever that is. LTCN. Oh yeah, it's another grayscale trust.
Yeah, I guess it is. That
looks terrible.
Looks super tough.
Yeah, that's so much bearish divergence.
Yeah, it's super ugly. Stay out.
Stay out.
Get out if you'll get to the dollar. Oh, what are you doing?
Say no, man. Just say no.
Yep, Raleigh Aban in live chat. Have a great weekend, guys. Thank you for a great Friday report. Says Loot Patient. And I saw quite a few people check out toward the end saying that it's been a great show. I got to run. Thank you, says Jose Alves, and quite a few
other. Let's get the likes to 100 on my birthday. If you're out there and you haven't clicked it, don't be that dick.
You like Jason? Don't you like Jason?
Yeah, if you like Jason, hit the like button, guys. Hit the subscribe.
Well, now they're just gonna like a bunch of dislikes are gonna come in because what you expect is never what you get.
All right, guys, we're gonna move
That's
to
why
wrap.
I'm good at trading.
It's been a great great week, I guess. Despite the big pullback in markets, we're still alive and, pacing ourselves still above 30. Currently, Bitcoin trading at 33,635. Might be going into this weekend looking hella bullish. Don't get shaken out of your hedges or the fact that we're still under the baseline, guys. The trend looks like a bearish one, so let's not get too shaken out.
I want to short oil tonight. It's starting to look pretty good. We might get the volatility. It's going to depend on what.
You see this, people? He actively wanted to stop looking at charts, but then he went directly just to looking at charts for himself.
Indeed.
Does this man love looking at charts or what?
I like charts.
Subtext still with us saying best analysis ever. Emoji, emoji, emoji. Thank you so much, Subtext. Thank you for hanging with us for the duration of the show. Everybody who's with us for over 2 hours today. It's been a great episode. Thank you to y'all.
Subtext actually just gave me a birthday present, which I really appreciate.
Wow, very generous, very generous. Much thanks to Subtext. Happy birthday to Jason. We're going to be in the Discord over the weekend. We'll be back on Monday to do a regular market update at the usual time. I think I'm going to be streaming UFC this Saturday, so if you guys want to catch us...
That's the McGregor fight, right?
Yeah, I think so. So if you guys want to catch us, the premium members want to catch us in the premium lounge, we will be streaming UFC and watching UFC group UFC.
Give me your belt.
And that's it. Not much more to say. Much love to everybody. Thank you, everybody, joining us today. You know who you all are. We'll catch you on Monday. Much love, everybody.
Trade safe over the weekend, guys. It might get a little choppy.
Yep. Hey, flat's a position, guys. Flat's cool. Cash is not bad. However much the Dixie moves over the weekend, it's not going to be that much.
Mm-hmm. No trade is still a trade.
Cash is king, guys. Shout out to David Rice, Cavano Trades, Ron Legato, Mac W, Wally, Loot Patient, Crypto Bull, and many more. Mr. Ether, Josh L, and many more. Thank you, everybody. We will be back soon. Daniel, everyone, much love. See you next week.
Bye.
Goodbye.